Hey, welcome back to another Netcast. I'm Rich Lopez, Quantrix Authority. Fantastic that you joined me today for episode number 130. I'm going to show you a concatenated trim. Came across this one today at my regular job and thought it was awesome. Wanted to pass it along to you because I'd been doing it an incorrect way in one of my models at work and some of the data wasn't working correctly. So what I have here is a item in a data matrix, and it's a job number, it's for a factory, and it kind of gives me a start-stop time. Okay? What I want to do is I wanted to create a key, a concatenated key that joined both factory and job number that I was then going to use in my model kind of further downstream to do some calculations upon. So what I did really quick is I said job number factory equals job number, and I like to use a pipe in my lookup keys, just kind of personal preference, and factory. Okay, and I go ahead and I concatenate that. But as I look at this, I go, well, looks like it did the right thing, but I don't like this trailing space here. Okay, so my initial reaction was to go ahead and create another item and put trim equals trim. All right. It doesn't have to be called trim. I'm just calling it trim. You can call it whatever you want, but there is a trim function. All right, and if I were to look at this function and search for trim, it would say it removes all spaces from text except for single space between words. So trim removes all spaces. That's what I traditionally thought. So I would say trim equals, again, job number, and this pipe, and let me get rid of that right there, and factory. Okay, when I do that, go ahead and it still is incorrect. And I thought, well, why is it incorrect still? It's because, again, the function for trim, or what trim does, is it removes, let me go back there, it removes all spaces from text except for a string for a single space between words. So it's going in here and it's looking at any spaces after job number, and it's removing all of them except for one of them, because I am concatenating it and having job number and factory go together. Okay, so it's just taking away one of them. And so if I want this to show up correctly, what I would need to do with my trim is I would need to say trim job number, and then do my key, and then I would need to probably then trim my factory just to be sure that I don't have any trailing zeros on factory. When I do that, I go ahead and I get the answer I want. I can verify that by going down here and pasting it. Okay, and you can see where my cursor shows. It shows right at the end of H1. I don't have any spaces between that and the pipe character now, so it looked like it's working beautifully. So when you're trimming, and if you're doing a concatenation and you have two string fields that you certainly don't want to have any trailing spaces on or any spaces in between, I would highly recommend that you wrap everything in the trim function as I have demonstrated here. Otherwise, you may not get the results you would expect in your model. Anyway, I hope you find that helpful, how to do a concatenated trim the correct way in Quantrix Modeler. If you have any questions about Quantrix, I hope that you reach out to me at quantrixauthority@gmail.com. I'd love to answer your questions. I absolutely love Quantrix. The more I use this tool, which is quite frequently, the more I love it. So please join me again for another episode of Quantrix Authority with Rich Lopez.